and get started here today. So let's just nice and easy. Let's get the blood pumping. We're going to get into some stretching right after this. So let's just kind of jog it out a little bit here. We get a timer going. You guys keep rolling. All right. But yeah, nice light pace. Free to alter it however you want. We're just going to spend a couple of minutes getting the blood pumping, getting these arms going. I was really hoping that I would be doing better temperature-wise with this little shot of warm weather we have, but I think, with the rain on its way and just the fluctuation in temperature, it really just not feeling it right now. Still got my neck gaiter on, begged my wife to let me turn the thermostat up to 75. Hoping this workout really helps.
Well, you're still looking sexy, so don't worry about
it. Hey, that's what it's all about, right? All right, try to twist that core some if you can. Just nice and stretchy, not jerking, not violent. Just let's get that blood pumping, get that heart beating. I'm going to alter my arms here a little bit, go up a little bit, stretching this plane. Now I'm going to focus on throwing my elbows back, just kind of different variations of the same movement. Feel your body, feel how it's different to do it, pulling back. Feel what's different if you focus on coming down. How can you reach up? Not just doing these movements, but feeling your body through them. Our bodies are all different, and they're going to keep getting different as we, age, and maybe we're getting stronger, maybe we're getting better, maybe we're, progressing the other direction. But just pay attention. Try to be in tune with your body. All right. Let's shake those arms out. I'm going to flatten my chair out a little bit. I'm going to reach forward to stretch my lower back. Make sure if you guys are doing this, it's safe. As I reach down, told you guys I like to get my elbows on the inside of my knees. And then as I extend my arms and reach down, I feel that stretch under my armpits. Really stretch it out, reaching down. All right. Now slowly come up.
One thing I do, Jared, to be safe, just for me to be safe, is I have like a desk or a table in front of me if people wanted to do that so they can lean forward with safety, because I don't feel comfortable doing what you do, but it just is a way to get what you get.
Right. And, if you have a seatbelt, put your seatbelt on. That's great. Actually, that's kind of my little trick to put on pants is I pull up right in front of my bed, and that blocks my knees, and that helps me, wiggle around and get my pants up. But yeah, totally whatever is safe for you. That safety is obviously of the utmost importance. Then now I'm going to tilt back a little bit, taking my left arm, reaching across the front. And I like to lock in right behind my elbow. And then, nice and gentle. I really used to think that when something hurt, I could just push out of it and stretch out of it. And no, you back off of it and you let it heal. All right. Let's switch arms. Right arm going across. I don't know if you guys are basketball fans. The Lady Cards had a heck of a win the other day. Hannah and I went to the Yum Center and saw them beat number 11 North Carolina. It was a really exciting game. All right, now left arm up over your head. You know, and if you can, and if you can't, you can stretch it across the front or do whatever works for you. All right, switch sides. And you know, if you want to hold it a little longer, go for it. You know, everything's at your own pace. Like Liz said, we want to make sure we're being safe at all times. All right. Feeling good there. Now we're going to stretch our wrists. I'm stretching my right wrist into flexion. My wrists are really tight. I only have wrist extension, so I really like to stretch into flexion. And when I stretch into flexion like this, I feel it all the way through the back of my tricep and down, even down into my, what I think this is my lat down in here, but all the way down. And let's switch arms. All right. Now we're going to go back into some jogging here. But let's pick up the pace a little bit. We're just going for 1 minute. And I like to focus on getting some core rotation, but just a little to loosen me up. We don't want to snap or be violent. You're a quarter of the way through it. Try to do a pace that's difficult. All right, halfway through. 30 more seconds. And I'll tell you the nice thing right now is that I'm already starting to warm up a little bit. Finally, I've been freezing all day. All right, 10 seconds to go. Really try to finish this one strong. 5 more seconds. All right, let's get water. We're staying on top of the hydration. All right. Another 5 seconds, and then we're going to get into the next exercise here. We're going to start with your left arm, reaching down to the right, and then try to reach up. And I have a lot of trouble finishing here at the end, locking my elbow out. You guys do what's best for you. If you have exercise bands, if you have wrist weights, if you have a gallon of milk, a can of beans, whatever you want to grade this up for yourself, go for it. And we can all focus on different aspects. You can really focus on the arm portion. You can focus on the trunk portion and focus on both. There we go. We got about 10 more seconds of this. All right, now we're going to switch to the other arm. Reaching down with the right and up. Getting a little winded here. Guess that's the idea, right? 20 seconds to go. Let's try to finish all these strong. I know that's something I really have to focus on when I'm in the weight room. Just fighting my own internal laziness. You know, sometimes I don't want to finish strong. You know, I'm pretty good at starting strong, but sometimes that fire dwindles. You gotta focus on keeping it going. All right, there we go. Let's take a little break. Another 30-second break. Get water if you need it. Reposition. I know these breaks, it's really important for me to recenter my butt in my chair. You know, I doing these different movements, I wiggle around and kind of get off center, a little out of kilter, and I gotta get set every time. Not only does it help keep me in the chair, but you know, when we're in the correct position is when we're getting the correct posture help from our chair. You know, and we're meant to sit in it a certain way. All right, next we're gonna go down, up, press with both arms. I'm always so jealous of, now I'm not so into CrossFit because there's a lot of jerky, dangerous moves in my opinion there, but just able-bodied people that get to do these really cool compound movements. And I think it's fun to try to find ways that we can do compound movements while we're sitting. And 5 more seconds.
Jared, just to be clear, you have tilted back to help you accomplish this exercise
Correct.
too. Yep.
Correct. And go ahead and take a break. I really do utilize my power chair, and I don't even know if utilize is the right word. I think cheating and compensate is probably better words. But I help myself out however I can with the chair, and I've really noticed. You know, I got back in the weight room on Monday. I kind of took a break from the weights last week because I really wasn't feeling it, and I got back in on Monday, and all my weights were 25 to 30% reduced. You know, same effort, just you know, when your body's fighting UTI, when you're not sleeping great and everything, you don't have all of it. And you know, I don't have all of my posture, and I do. Yeah, I'm definitely compensating with the chair. All right, let me get another drink of water and then.
Well, Jared, I think it's a good thing that you are using your chair to be useful, to go through a longer range of motion by putting the chair back. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's why we have this technology. But I also try to be aware that I need to try to sit with better posture and maybe not abuse it, but just use it. But let's get back into another round of these compound movements. And there is an effect, you know, it's harder sitting upright. And sometimes it's more important for me to make it through a full day halfway reclined than maybe a half day sitting upright. You know, I feel like, you know, especially with an injury, we're always robbing Peter to save Paul. You know, you always got to take from one bucket to put in another one, and just there's never enough to spread around. And go ahead and take another break. Next, we're going to try to work in the side to side plane a little bit, but get yourself some water, catch your breath, get repositioned in the chair. A lot of times I wear these little leggings to help with cold weather, and it allows me to access my catheter bag. But I've noticed after changing my suprapubic catheter this morning, even just the added pressure of this legging being on top of my catheter bag on my leg, that added pressure on the whole bladder system has really irritated my bladder. And it's just funny how sensitive, everything can get when you're not at the top of your game. All right, let's try to get, there we go. Let's try to get our arms out like this. And then we're gonna focus on twisting. And if you can add a little extension in, go for that. So twist, punch, twist, punch. And at whatever pace is comfortable for you. I see a lot of you can go faster than me. That's great. You want to add weights again. But I found out with almost all exercises, it's whatever part that sucks, that's where you're getting better. So find that part where it's not so much fun, and maybe I don't want to say hurt, because nothing we do should hurt, but where it's difficult, and that's where you want to focus on. That's where you're going to grow. That's where you're going to tear those muscles down and let them rebuild a little bit stronger next time. All right, let's take a break there. That was one thing I used to really worry about, was because especially after my injury, when I would go to the gym, I never got muscle soreness. I would never get to where, I felt like, oh, I just wrecked my arms. And so I started doing a bunch of research, and like, you don't need to feel that. There's no, some people do, and it's not a problem for them. But if you're not feeling pain when you're working out, it's perfectly okay. I don't know what you guys heard growing up, but no pain, no gain, and it doesn't have to be like that. It is hard, and it is exerting yourself, but I don't think pain is necessarily the right word. Get another drink of water here. All right, let's get into some strength work. I'm gonna get my right arm under my right leg to work my bicep. If you have weights that you want to do this with, that is great. There we go. And I will also use my left arm behind my chair to help keep my core centered, and then I can just focus on this right bicep. But here we go. And occasionally my heel gets caught on my calf support, but that's okay. I can still flex the bicep and get that muscle contraction in my arm. And that's what we're going for. Keep it up. Try to hold that contraction for a couple seconds each time. Going at a pace that's good for you. Couple more here. All right, and go ahead and switch to the left arm. It takes me a little while to switch. So if you want to get a drink, go for it. You will have time. By the time I wedge my hand under here. There we go. Okay, and the left. There it goes. I love it after a few reps, and I think it's my hamstring gets really tight on this left, but after a couple reps, it kind of releases and my leg wiggles somewhat normally. And while you're doing these, remember, if your hand is straight up and down, they call that hammer curls. You know, traditional is with your hand like this, or you can do palm down curls, but alter your hand position. See how that feels differently. See how that changes the workout for you. All right. We're gonna get 3 sets in total. So that was 1 set. Get a drink if you need it. Maybe even if you don't think you need it, get a drink. All right, now I'm gonna get going with the right arm again. All right. Kansas Jayhawks sure looked real nice last night. I'm sure you were all just glued to the TV watching. And you're all equally excited about the Chiefs being in the Super Bowl. I know. All right, let's switch arms. I am really excited for the local programs here. You know, the women are always so much fun to watch. And watching them beat North Carolina was just, it was great to be at the stadium. And to watch how this city supports the women's program is really incredible. And then, you know, to see how the city is supporting the men's team right now is pretty incredible too. We went to the men's game on Saturday, and you know, for a team that's won, I think 3 games, the attendance was great. You know, so this city is, you guys really here in Louisville get behind your sports. All right, that finishes the second set there. And one last time on the right. Little, there it goes. All right. All right. Getting a good burn in my bicep. I don't know if that's an indicator of how weak I am or how much of a workout we're getting. All right, last switch. Excuse me. All right, left arm. You know, I've been cold. I've been complaining to you guys. You know, I've not been feeling great. And before I started this workout, Hannah, my wife, she made me some rice and she was feeding it to me real quick to try to help warm me up before the workout. That's my excuse for so rudely belching. All right, take a break, get a drink of water. Okay, I'm gonna flatten my chair out. Next, we're gonna do tricep extensions. So again, this is, we can all do this differently. I'm gonna have my hands on my knees, leaning forward, and then using my triceps to push myself up. You guys want to do depressions, you can use it from your elbows where you push yourself up that way, unweight your butt. You want to use your hands to reach behind you, reach down beside you to lift up and get a tricep extension that way. If you have your dumbbells and you want to try, if you start at your chest and move out, that should be triceps. You can grade this however you want. You can do this however you want. We're just trying to get a workout together. So I'm getting ready to start here. Got my hands on my knees, and we're going into a set of triceps. We're going to do 3 of these. So here we go. For me, it takes a second. I got to kind of let my back relax so I can lean forward. And then I engage my arms. And I really try to do a full extension. And then we're back down. And it doesn't matter if it's just a little lean, whatever you can do to activate your muscles and to get a workout going. If this is more trunk for you, that is fine. Again, in here, it doesn't really matter if what you're doing looks like what everybody else is doing. We're just trying to improve our fitness and, have a group in here together. All right, let's take a break. Drink of water, and then it's another set.
Dumb question. Can you point to your tricep? So I know which exactly muscle it is.
Yeah, tricep.
Can you point to it?
Oh,
Where is it?
yes, sir. Sorry.
That one. Okay. Well, it is that movement. All
And
right.
for me,
Yeah, I'm thinking
yeah,
like
and this
when
is
you
a
used
lot.
to lift weights, go like this and just like that. Lift your arm right at the elbow.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, tricep extension. All right. But whatever exercise works for you, we're going to get into another set right now. So and ideally it's tricep. My tricep really, it kind of works. They say they get a flicker out of it. I'm using a lot of shoulder for everything I do. There's a lot of compensatory muscles. I'm not actually using a lot of tricep, but I'm trying to do the movement that would activate that muscle and hoping that one of these days it comes around. And in the meantime, the supporting muscles, all the little muscles that are picking up the slack, those are going to get stronger. So I look at it as a win. I will say the one nice thing about me taking a little break from my schedule at the end of last week is the kind of the nagging pain I have in my right teres minor has really gone away. It's almost like that's an overuse issue. Almost like that. All right, let's take a little break. All right. Having a little extra trouble getting my hand on my water bottle today. You notice that when you're sick, you just kind of have a little extra problem with pretty much everything in life all day. It's like,
That's called being normal.
yeah, right.
Like I dropped that again? Really?
I just about dropped my phone. I was just going to agree with you emphatically, and I almost dropped my phone doing that. So, yes. All right, but let's do this last set here. These triceps, and then we can move on to greener pastures. Here we go. Really focusing on the end range of that movement. You know, they're always telling me to finish it, lock that muscle out, and that's not snapping the joint or anything violent structurally. It's just finishing the movement. Really trying to, you know, with your brain, think about contracting that muscle that you're working. Think about getting the maximum contraction out of it. What does that feel like in your head to make that connection? And work on that each time. And now let's take a break. All right. Man, let's stretch out here just a second. Feel free to join me. I'm going to bring my hands together. And, you know, if you can, that's great. If not, I get it. But right here and then reaching back, that feels good to me. That feels like I'm stretching the muscles we just used. And then even with my arms down bent, still get that same relief. All right. Get some water if you need it. We all need it. We always need it. Any of you guys been watching The Last of Us on HBO? So I usually don't get into, all right, if we're all ready, let's get, I'm gonna tilt my chair back a little bit. So let's get into some more jogging in place. Let's keep that heart pumping. I usually don't get into the zombie shows, but that's what the Last of Us is. It's the newest zombie craze, and I'm buying into this one, guys. What's different about this is they're taking an approach that it's more of a fungus, and it's like basically like these kind of mushrooms that are taking us over and controlling us, and they're equating it to this like fungus that can control ants. And so they got, you know, a loose little science link here that's intriguing to me. Yeah, I like it so far. And my wife's into it, and if there's, you know, a sciencey, actiony show that we can watch together, then I'm in.
Plus, it's good science. You know, whatever your wife is into, you will be into. That's good science.
She always gets such a kick out of it because, you know, I'll watch. She watches Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and the Kardashians, and then, you know, I'll watch that with her. And not only do I watch it with her, but like halfway through, I'm screaming at the TV. I'm more into it than she is, and she's like, you know, I'll be yelling at the TV, and then I look over and she's just got her phone like taking a video of me, and I'm like, you're evil. But yeah, it's tough not to get sucked into the drama. Let's keep this up. We want to keep that heart rate going. We want to stay moving. All right. Go ahead and take a little break. Reposition in your chair. Gonna give this 30 seconds, and then we're gonna get into some punching. But yeah, if you like end of days type of disaster shows, you gotta check out The Last of Us. All right. Again, here we go. Punching this out right in front of you. We're going to start in front, and then we're going to move our target. Ooh. All right. And I'm watching myself on the Zoom thing right now, and I'm just punching myself in the nose over and over. It's giving me a good target. I don't know what a psychologist would say about this, but all right, now we're going to punch down. Body shots, hitting myself in the belly. Trying to make the movement symmetrical, trying to make it glide and natural. Feel like a lot of times my movements are pretty jerky, not all the muscles work that allow it to be a nice smooth movement all the time. All right, now up, punching up. And this is the one that's really hard for me. I should try to keep it centered and in front. Like I'm trying to punch a basketball player in front of me. All right, now let's punch out. Left and right. There we go. And back to in front, punching yourself in the head again. Really try to get your shoulders and core involved. And work on that target. I know it gets tougher for me if I really try to line my fist up with my head, If I'm just kind of flailing here, that's easier. But if I get more intentional with my movements, that ups the difficulty. And I think that's true with most things, So if you're good with this, go for it. It's up to you. But if you're ready to go to the next level, then try to really zero in with your targeting. Be more intentional. And let's take a break. Good job, guys. Get another drink of water. Check on my catheter situation. We're going all right.
Now, is that a good morning sunspot with all those windows right there?
So this is sunset right here, which I kind of prefer because we do get a little side view in the bedroom as it comes, and then we just kind of get, this is south facing off to the side here, and then this is the west. So yeah,
It's a dream of mine to have.
we love our. What's that?
It's a dream of mine to have a room where it's going to be glass like that, only where the sun comes up, and just wake up in the morning, meditate, have coffee, whatever, and get warmed up,
Yeah, absolutely. And that is one thing we really like about this apartment was before we had one that was a shotgun style. There was no light, and it was depressing, And just to have the natural light all the time, it really is a blessing for sure.
It's good for this.
It is, yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go back into another compound movement. We're going to go back down to our toes, sit up, and reach for the sky. I've been talking about you. Hannah's here in the background. She gets embarrassed very easily, and she just gave me a look. All right, take a break. Well, temperature-wise, this is definitely what I needed. Finally, for the first time today, even in PT and OT, I couldn't get warm. So this is nice. All right. Next thing we're gonna have coming up is we're gonna swim. So try to bring those arms up. You know, for this one for me is a lot more about core balance than it would seem, maybe. But I'm gonna try to keep it kind of slow so I can't just squirm out of it. Yeah, breaststroke, doggy paddle, whatever works. But this is really challenging my core, and I like that. You know, I'm coming forward to where my back is off the backrest. And as I cycle my arms through, I'm having to try to maintain my balance. But any way that you do this works for you. No matter what we're doing, we're having to balance our core. And if we're moving our arms, we're going to get that heart pumping. Yeah, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. You know, and if you try to really focus on bringing that elbow back, you can get those triceps involved again. Yeah, this is getting difficult, and I feel like I'm getting wobbly. I want to just keep going just a little bit longer. Let's push that endurance a little bit. And if you need to stop, you stop. You know, this is all self-directed. And we are getting to that point where I need to stop. So I'm going to stop. Shake it out a little bit. Climb back. Get some water. All right. Then we're going to start nice and easy jogging it out. We're going to do this for about a minute. And then we're going to kick it up for about 30 seconds. And then we're going to start cooling down. So keep this going. Again, I'm going to go ahead and be a little more intentional right now. Try to focus in on my target. And I'm trying to keep the same pace. I'm just trying to improve the quality of the movement. And that's all objective. That's all my own opinion. And I could be completely wrong according to someone else, but I'm trying, in my head, I'm making this more difficult. I'm focusing more on my movements. I'm really focusing on that connection between my brain and my muscles. All right. Now let's kick up the pace. You got to keep it up for 30 seconds. So don't do anything you can't sustain, but let's make it a little more difficult. And you know, immediately I pump up the pace, but then I lose all my intentionality. Is that a word? We'll have Liz. Yeah, thanks, Liz. I knew Liz would know. But so I need to focus back in. I want to try to keep that pace, but then get back to focusing on all the intentional parts of my movements. All right. Now keep moving. Don't just stop. Just keep nice and slow. Almost in slow motion. It's like, reminds me of Ace Ventura when he's in the asylum, you know? Super slow-mo. Yeah. I think Donna gets it. All right. Now I'm going to take this left arm, stretch across to the right. And as you sit here, try to continually add a little pressure. Just really lean into that stretch. Notice how it changes if you straighten your elbow. You know, play around with it. Switch to the other. You know, I can't move my wrist into flexion, but I can do some extension and just moving what I can, seeing how that affects the stretch. What does that feel like to me? Look at that twisting around there. There's kind of a different way to get that teres minor that nags me occasionally. Right. Left arm behind your head. Again, playing around, seeing how your movement can affect that while trying to sit. And they're losing my balance a little bit. Spasms happen. Here we go. Switching to the right arm. All right, let's do some shoulder rolls. Coming forward. Just really trying to make that circle as big as you can with your shoulders. All the way back, all the way up, all the way forward, all the way down. Just really feeling that out. And then let's reverse it. Coming backwards. And really, as you're coming backwards, really come back and set those shoulder blades down. Work on opening that chest up. This is something a lot of us really need. I know I do. So I need to focus on opening my chest up, unfolding. You know, I'm always looking down, and I could blame it on my chair. I'm usually just looking down at my phone, you know, let's be honest. But I'm down, I'm curled, and I need to open up and look at the world. There you go. Hope you guys are feeling good and feeling loose. That concludes the workout for this week. It's good to see everybody. And as always, leave feedback. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. And we appreciate you joining.